Hello and welcome back to another episode on the channel by me. I'm just going to cover this year of Facebook and my year in a quick video, as quick as I can make it. So this year's been very interesting for me. Last year I was decorating my house from top to bottom. So I did every room out from top to bottom, cleaned it all, painted it all, well, undercoat, paint, glossing, ceilings. The only thing that I didn't do personally was the carpet, because I wanted a professional finish to my good work. And you should be able to see my work on the screen now. So I started this year with a very nice home. I'd made a very nice home for myself and my child, and things were looking good. I was in a new relationship with my current girlfriend. Love you loads. Things are going well. They were going well then. I just spent the entire year last year dealing with a lot of my trauma from my past, like childhood trauma, trauma from mistreatment by the British government under the Mental Health Act. I'll not get into it, but in short, human experimentation and torture. I also had to deal with the police's issues that they did and the problems they've caused, still not being dealt with, but had to try. So that was trying to basically hold the government account and the police account for crimes. It's not easy. So I had that to deal with. I also had finished dealing with my trauma therapy to deal with what the police had done, the government had done, the NHS had done, and what my family did when I was younger. Basically, my solution was to just tell everyone the truth on Facebook. Just tell everyone what happened, what I did, what they did, what happened. Whereas what they did was they told everyone what I did, but they didn't tell anyone what they did. So my family essentially tried to paint me out to be a bad guy for about 20 years. And
Black sheep of the family has felt alone or misunderstood their entire lives. They can also see dysfunction most clearly and want to heal from the past. They're curious, sensitive, and willing to self-reflect, which makes them stand out from other family members. The black sheep becomes the scapegoat of the family. Family members project their unwanted traits or the issues of the family onto the black sheep. This allows them to blame the toxic dynamics on one person and avoid looking at the true deeper issues within themselves. Sometimes the black sheep plays the peacemaker role. They're expected to step in and fix family issues, even if those issues don't directly involve them. Some black sheep know from a young age that the adults in their homes can't be trusted and begin taking care of themselves. Many black sheep are deep feelers who are curious and open. This is a stark contrast to other family members who are emotionally shut down, rigid, black and white thinkers. As the years go on, the black sheep feels the deep rage, regret, and disappointment within the family unit. They live within the chaos until they go out onto their own. The black sheep tend to be extremely interesting, engaged, creative people who have been stifled as children. Their humor, independence, and sensitive nature can allow them to thrive as adults.
I just got on with things, but eventually it needed sorted out. It needed corrected. And so I did that. And I got to the point where every day I was just sadly waking up a slave to my past. Every day was a struggle trying to deal with the past. And this whole year, near enough, was like that. It's been like that since my severe injury in 2010, that I would wake up each day and really struggle with everything from the past. My nerve injury, the police's mistakes, the government's mistakes, the NHS's mistakes, my family's mistakes. I'd really struggle with these things, like almost being tortured by your own memories, which is unfortunately what post-traumatic stress disorder really is. So I dealt with that, well, tried to deal with it. And this year I wanted to focus on healing. Healing other people and myself. Now, I will be honest, it's been very difficult Because some people don't want to be healed. Some people don't want the truth. They want to live the lie. It's difficult. So sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. There's no point being nice about trying to be kind about the truth in an unneeded way. So if someone's believing in a delusion, I will tell them, I'm sorry, that's a delusion. And they will see that as an insult, me calling them delusional when I didn't. I'm just saying they believe in a false reality. It's not an insult, it's an accurate description of what you said, because you told me you believed in a false reality. And so because they take that as an insult, they'll feel I've insulted them and start insulting me. And then because they've insulted me, when I was just being nice, trying to help them, like, I don't want people to go around believing a load of bullshit and making themselves look stupid. Believe it or not, I actually don't want people to look stupid. I want them to know what they're talking about. And I find people who believe in bullshit and things that are wrong will convince other people of things that are wrong and bullshit is true. So you might as well correct them and help them. You're not hurting them, although they might resist. Oh, you don't know better than me, or, think you're wrong. If you educate them, or try to, at least you tried. You tried to make this person not say stupid things to other people and make themselves look bad. They might call you names, they might do whatever, but essentially you tried to help them. But because they didn't like the words you used, and they took it as an insult, they'll insult you for it. And then if you insult them back, they'll make out that you started it by insulting them. But they took it as an insult. You didn't actually insult them. You used the most accurate words possible to describe what was going on. And they took it as an insult. And so intentionally insulted you when you did not intend to insult them, because they think you did intend. Humans are stupid. We are all stupid. We are all smart. Depending on what you ask someone will depend on if they're smart or stupid, essentially. So a lot of this year has been spent trying to educate British people on, I say educating, undoing the brainwashing that's been done to them. It's really hard to undo the brainwashing of about 70 million people who each day are getting re-brainwashed every day, re-brainwashed. And when they start to doubt themselves and believe the truth as a possibility, they'll go searching not for evidence to prove they were wrong, but for things that convince them they were right and not wrong. So they'll double down on the delusion rather than accept the possibility they might have made a mistake and should improve. Now, let's be honest. This country, Britain, England, has a very strong historic recent record of voting in useless people into positions of power. Boris Johnson, Liz Truss, Rishi Sunak, Theresa May, although she was professional, she was incapable. David Cameron, Gordon Brown, Tony Blair. So I have no doubt whatsoever the country will vote someone in incapable again and again and again. And I'm powerless to stop that. Powerless. The only thing I can do is offer a better option, which I keep saying you should make me Prime Minister, but the system is not designed to allow that, you see. But anyway, back to my year of healing. So this year I had to try and do a lot of things. I had to try and task the government with their discrimination against men and try and get them to install a minister to reduce violence against men and boys, which in the long run would result in a reduction in violence amongst men and boys, and so would inadvertently also have less violence against girls and women. Something very crazy. I have just spent the last 2 hours compiling a list of every single Member of Parliament's email address, as you can see here, right? Every single email address of Member of Parliament in the UK, every single one of them, right? And I'm going to send this email off to them about violence against men and boys, because in the UK we have a specific person to deal with violence against women and girls, but not violence against men and boys. And so I'm writing an email to them about it. As you can see, all the emails there, There is 650 MP email addresses or something there. It's ridiculous. Like, it goes down, you know. But the government don't really care about that. The government don't care about men and boys. They want to paint us out to be the villains, because who else are you going to paint out to be the villains? They need a villain. It's always going to be the man who's the villain. So they didn't do it. I'll show you the emails. And I keep trying. It's not just once I wrote to these MPs. I've wrote to them on multiple occasions, trying to get them to install a minister to reduce violence against men and boys. Because of a minister to reduce violence against men and boys will be tasked to try and reduce violence against males, but also will result in less violence amongst men. So yeah, that's been a big focus this year. A big focus as well has been trying to undo the police's wrongful charge of me for common assault. So I handed the evidence into the police in February that proved my innocence. And I honestly just thought, because they had the evidence to prove they hadn't done their jobs correctly, and they had charged a man who was innocent of the crime he was actually the victim of. I mean, call me stupid, but I thought if they had the cold hard evidence to prove they were wrong, they would fix their mistake. No, nothing. In fact, they've threatened me that if I keep trying to deal with it, they're going to legally stop me dealing with it. So my only option was to go public with everything. It's the only option. Go public with the evidence, go public with what the police did, go public with how they messed up, go public with how they violently abuse and mistreat disabled people, and how people get illegally held under the Mental Health Act by doctors doing assessments at the same time instead of two separate ones, which is required by law. So these people get held illegally under the Mental Health Act, which is a hostage, by the way. It's not legal. You have to legally be held under the Mental Health Act. You can't illegally hold them under the Mental Health Act. And when you're getting the police called out to put these people under the Mental Health Act, they're not criminals, so you can't injure them. They're not under arrest. You can't cause them lifelong injuries. Like, I have a disfigurement, my neck's fucked, my shoulder's fucked, all because I was made mentally unwell, because the police wrongfully charged me, and I don't deal well with false accusations from having older twin siblings. I just don't deal well with it at all. And so it drove me insane. It drove me insane that the government and the police and the legal system was wrongly charging me with a crime I was the victim of, and had taken me away from my newborn baby, claiming I was a danger to her when I was the only one looking out for her safety from the dangers. I'll not go into them. So that was really tough, really, really tough. And trying to deal with that every day, I still struggle, but not so much these days. But this is what I was talking about. Every day I was a slave to my past. Like, how could my country allow me to be tortured and experimented on and treated like a fucking... worse than a murderer gets treated, right? How could my country let that happen and not care? And it's because I'm a male. It's because I'm a male. If I was a female, not in a million years would the police have allowed me to be pushed through a wardrobe, shout at the person for doing it, and arrest me for it, and then take me away from my baby. No, they would never do that to a mother, but it was okay to do it to me because I'm a man. Disgusting. But yeah, that's what I've had to heal from. The mental trauma, the emotional trauma, the lack of ability to trust others. And I've done really well to heal this year. For the last 3 months, I wake up each day enjoying each day as a new day. I don't wake up as a slave to my past. I wake up as enjoying each day as a new day, a new challenge. This year I've tried to set up several channels, been reasonably successful, although more successful on Facebook, to try and get my ideas out there for science and religion and politics and all these things. A lot of you may not know this, but in 2017 I came up with a political manifesto to fix this country after Brexit. Unfortunately, nobody listened to me, of course, because I was mentally unwell. Fine, makes sense. But Keir Starmer did end up using 3 of my policies to win the last election, which is GB Energy, the National Wealth Fund, and giving 16 and 17-year-olds the right to vote. So it makes me sad that I then wrote a letter to Keir Starmer about the human experimentation, the police's mistakes, and how we should install a minister to reduce violence against men and boys. But I wasn't worth his time responding to. So he could steal my policies to win the election. And even though he's a human rights lawyer, he wouldn't help deal with human rights abuses by the British government when he's just become Prime Minister by stealing my policies to use to win the election. But he won't help me with a problem. A very easy problem to solve that I have already solved, by the way. I've already solved it. I've already proved my innocence with the evidence. The legal system is fucked. It's wrong. They've got people in jail for 17 years who weren't even guilty and barely compensate them. Like, the legal system in this country is fucked. Fucked. So when future historians look back and check the records, they'll be like, well, the British government has here down that James was just a psychotic lunatic and he was guilty of common assault. And the other records will show, well, no, he actually solved dark matter, dark energy problem. He was actually a qualified computer engineer. He's actually spent his entire life protecting and helping women, never hurting them. It'll show that I proved my innocence with evidence and that they never dealt with it. And that even though I contacted the Prime Minister personally, he didn't bother his arse. Instead, he went over to America to give Donald Trump a foot massage and hand deliver the royal invitation from King Charles like a delivery boy. And I had enough. I had enough. That was it. That's it. The fight back has begun. I am not tolerating this level of injustice. It's just not acceptable. So my plan is to take over the country as Prime Minister myself and fix it all. Because Keir Starmer's not going to fix anything. He's just self-interested. The Tory party are not going to fix anything. Reform aren't going to fix anything. None of these parties are going to fix anything. They're just going to do what they want. Whereas my plan is to fix the legal system, fully control migration. There would be no illegal migration anymore. Get prices lowered by energy, food prices, lower the national debt. Bam, Bob's your uncle. Better NHS, better police, better fire brigades, better everything. Done. It's easy. All you have to do is know what you're doing, which these fuckers don't. So, it's been a year of healing. By trying to heal others, I've hoped that in the end it would heal myself, and it kind of has. But like I say, some people out there don't want to be healed. They don't want to believe the truth, that they've been lied to, they believe the lie, and that I'm telling them the truth. They would rather believe I'm wrong, or I'm mentally unwell, or I'm dumb, or I'm brainwashed, or I'm deluded, rather than just accept that I don't represent any party. I'm not right-wing, I'm not left-wing. I am simply a messenger of truth. You can choose to accept it, and I could even be wrong. I could even be mistaken. I am human. I do make mistakes. But you can guarantee I believe what I'm saying. I'm not lying to you. And no one told me to say it. I didn't watch TV and it said it, and then I passed it off as my own words. I'm telling you my beliefs, and people think I'm repeating Labour or the Tories or whatever. If I go into a left-wing group on Facebook and state something that I approve of that's right-wing, like paying less taxes, they'll think I'm a right-wing reform voter. If you go into a right-wing politics group and start talking about how we need cleaner environments for our children instead of them getting all these toxic diseases and cancer from being put in dangerous environments, oh, you're just a woke libtard. Like, why have you all, in the last 5 years, become so childish you are unable to deal with other people's points of view? So what you do is everyone who disagrees with you gets put in this pile. And everything those people think, you think everyone in this box believes that. Because you put them in there. That's why they're in that box, because they disagree with you. So they must believe everything you don't agree with. So I've been debating people who are right wing or left wing, and simply for coming up for a solution to the mass migration problem Nigel caused, the left wing called me a Nazi fascist, and for pointing out to the right wing that Nigel did cause the mass migration, I was called a woke retard, which, by the way, is a criminal offence. If you're going to harass me and use my disability to do it, it's a hate crime. So you should be very careful, because it's no different to going on to a black person's Facebook and calling them racist words. If you're going to use slurs of disabled people against me while committing a crime, it's a hate crime. So anyway, so it's been a good year of healing. I built my dream computer, absolutely amazing. I've had a good relation. I'm in a good relationship with my girlfriend. My daughter's happy. I've got a lovely home. I am still working on quitting smoking. Not doing very well, but I have been doing better. And it's great. Things are going great right now. Onwards and upwards. From my perspective, everything's going well. My channel isn't... obviously, I'm not world famous, but like, I can't leave the house without people looking at me like they know me. Recognize me, or they've heard something I've said, or they've heard someone said something. Like, that's just the way the internet works these days. So some people might have heard from a dickhead that I'm the dickhead, and some people might have heard from a nice person that I'm a good father who protects women and girls. I can't control what other people think and say, but what I can do is give my side of events. So there you go. So yeah, next year, instead of focusing on healing, because I feel I'm fully healed now, traumatics wise, I'm just going to move on and enjoy life and keep improving. I don't think I'm going to carry on in the GB News comment section, because I think, sounds silly, but Reform's entire chance of election could be undone by my love of words, and them being so abusive and disrespectful that I started calling them deformers for calling Labour Labour and the Tories Conservative. That might literally be what cost them the election. Literally, imagine how this could work, right? Donald Trump in America could invest £100 million in reform. They could spend the next 4 years with all the media power of the entire world trying to brainwash Britain to vote for Nigel. But come the election, Nigel might not win the election because some clever cunt called his party Deformed UK. And nobody wants to be a deformer who's voted for Deformed UK and voted for the guy who caused the mass migration problem to solve it. So, words are like magic, my friends. Words are like magic. You can create an entire world and you can destroy empires with them. Bear that in mind when you use words. So yeah, my year of healing has been fantastic. It was nice to see other humans try and do the same. The most important thing about healing is making people laugh and smile again. After COVID, it's almost like the human race forgot how to laugh and smile and enjoy itself. Because we were all in a very serious situation. I don't think we had much time for laughter. So I wanted to heal people with laughter by making them smile. But the hardest part of healing people was undoing the brainwashing, which had been done over COVID and the last few years. Trying to undo that, I think, is going to be a lifelong mission that I will never win. But I will carry on trying regardless. So thank you very much for all your help this year, to all my friends, my family, all the support, all my followers and people have given me over the year. I couldn't have done it all without you. You've all done amazing in helping making this world a better place. And I couldn't have done it without you. So thanks very much. Don't get too drunk, unless that's your aim. And Happy New Year. I'll see you in the new year. Bye-bye.
Out came Joe Linton.
Yeah!